Introduction to Telecommunications Relay Services. Introduction to Telecommunications Relay Services. Telecommunications Relay Services, TRS, allow persons who are deaf, hard of hearing, deaf-blind, or have speech disabilities to communicate by telephone in a manner that is functionally equivalent to telephone services used by persons without such disabilities. Under Title IV of the Americans with Disabilities Act, the Federal Communications Commission must ensure the provision of TRS. TRS is available in all 50 states, the District of Columbia, Puerto Rico, and all other U.S. territories for local, long-distance, and international calls. There is no cost to the users. TRS providers are compensated from either a federal fund, which is administered by the TRS Fund administrator, or a state fund. In all forms of TRS, communications assistants, CAs, or other authorized intermediaries, such as automated speech recognition, ASR, facilitate telephone calls between persons with hearing or speech disabilities and other individuals. Some forms of TRS have voice and hearing carry-over options, so callers may use their own voices or residual hearing if they prefer to do so. Spanish relay services for eligible users are available. Several different types of TRS are available. Video Relay Service. VRS allows persons whose primary language is American Sign Language to communicate with the CA in ASL using video conferencing equipment. The CA speaks what is signed to the other party and signs the other party's response back to the user. VRS allows conversations to flow in near real time and in a faster and more natural manner than text-based TRS for those who use American Sign Language. Captioned Telephone Service. Captioned Telephone Service uses a special telephone that has a text screen to display captions of what the other party to the conversation is saying. A captioned telephone allows the user to speak to the other party and to simultaneously listen to the other party and read captions of what the other party is saying. The CA repeats or revoices what the other party says, which is converted into captions and transmitted to the user's captioned telephone text display. Internet Protocol Captioned Telephone Service. IP Captioned Telephone Service, IPCTS, uses the Internet rather than the telephone network to provide the voice link and captions between the user with a hearing disability and the CA. TTY Relay Service. With text-to-voice TTY-based TRS, also known as traditional TRS, the CA relays the call back and forth between the parties by speaking what a TTY user types and typing what the other party speaks. Internet Protocol Relay Service. Internet Protocol Relay Service is a text-based form of TRS that uses the Internet rather than traditional telephone lines for the leg of the call between the person with a hearing or speech disability and the CA. Otherwise, the call is generally handled just like a TTY-based TRS call. The user may use a computer or other web-enabled device such as a tablet or smartphone to communicate with the CA. Speech-to-speech relay service. Speech-to-speech relay service is used by people with speech disabilities. A CA specially trained in understanding the speech patterns of people with speech disabilities repeats what the user is saying in a manner that makes the user's words clear and understandable to the other party. No special telephone is needed. Mandatory minimum standards for TRS. TRS providers must offer service that meets the certain FCC mandatory minimum standards, including TRS must be available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. For most forms of TRS, the provider must be able to handle 911 emergency calls and relay them to the appropriate emergency services. In general, TRS providers, other than for VRS, must answer 85% of all calls within 10 seconds, and VRS providers must answer 80% of all calls within 2 minutes. TRS providers must make best efforts to accommodate a TRS user's requested CA gender. CAs generally must relay all conversations verbatim and in real time. CAs must stay with the call for at least 10 minutes to avoid disruptions to the TRS user. 20 minutes for STS calls. TRS providers must ensure user confidentiality, and CAs, with a limited exception for STS, may not keep records of the contents of any conversation. CAs must provide a minimum typing speed for text-based calls, and VRS CAs must be qualified interpreters. For more information about FCC programs to promote access to telecommunications services for people with disabilities, visit the FCC's Disability Rights Office TRS webpage at www.fcc.gov/TRS. You can also contact DRO at 202-418-2517, voice, 844-432-2275, videophone, or dro@fcc.gov.